Hey guys, so I want to make a quick back to school video on how to, master your memory and how to deal with the school stress that I know you most likely will be facing right now. So I know it's not the same as it used to be with the usual in-person learning. Quite a lot of us are doing online learning, and those that are not fully doing online learning are doing a hybrid model. So I know there are lots and lots of things that can stress you out at this period. So that's why I want to quickly just let you know a few tips that can keep you going, a few tips that can keep you refreshed, and some tips that can help you retain all your learning and quickly remember during exams or tests or whenever. So, are you ready? Let's go. So now we're going to start with mastering your memory, and we're going to look at tips and techniques you can use to, retain whatever you learn so that when you need them you can apply them. The resources I'll be using were compiled by 𝚂𝚘𝚛𝚎, and you can reach out to her if you have any questions at all concerning them. What you're going to be learning from this video is how to utilize your memory, which is a very powerful tool and important in all aspects of your life, academic, social, in just every aspect of your life. You need to know how to utilize your memory properly. Now, let's look at the categories of memory. We have the long term memory and the short term memory. The long term memory is our brain system for storing, managing, and retrieving information, while the short term memory is like the brain's receptionist, and it's responsible for storing information temporarily and determining if it to be dismissed or transferred onto long term memory. So basically, the short term memory just holds information for a little while, but then if the information has to stay longer, it will be transferred to your long term memory, which is responsible for storing and managing the information in your brain. Under the long term memory, we now have two other types, which is your implicit memory and your explicit memory. For your explicit memory, this is that part that requires, conscious thoughts, and is where you keep things that you've actively learned, like what you learn in school during math class or during biology class. This is the part that is involved, your explicit memory. For your implicit memory, it doesn't require as much conscious thought. It's what allows you to perform, basic functions like maybe tying your shoe and brushing your teeth. So this is what happens for implicit memory. In this video, we want to look at the process of memorization. That is how short-term memories become a part of long-term memory. Now, for this, there are three main stages: one, acquisition; two, storage; and three, retrieval. And we're going to consider each of them and see what they all entail. The first one on our list is acquisition. And we know that it's impossible for our brain to retain every single information it comes across every day. And so our brain is constantly filtering information that comes across its way. And we have to make sure that important information is not being immediately deleted from our short term memory. And so that is what we do during the acquisition stage. We are making sure to remember. So we are remembering to remember. I know it sounds funny, but that's what we're doing. We're making sure that that important information is not being lost immediately from our short term memory. The next one is storage, and this is the process by which we commit something to our long term memory. Now, strategy is very important here, and that's why in this video we're going to be looking at various techniques that you can use to effectively store information in your memory. The last stage is retrieval, and this is when you take the information from your memory when you want to use it or when you want to apply it. And this is like the part many people struggle with because they made mistakes during the first two steps. And so that's why we have to carefully consider all the steps so that we can get the best of it. Now we're going to look at the non-mnemonic tools of mastering your memory, which are visual cues and notational software and apps. Now, what are visual cues? Visual cues are concrete objects, pictures, symbols, or even words that provide information and help foster remembrance. Let's say I want to explain covalent bonding. We know that covalent bonding is that bonding that happens between two non-metallic elements when they share their lone electrons. So for our visual cues explanation, we can say, let's say a man and a woman that gets married, they become one. So let's say they are sharing, let's say their hearts basically, and now they've become one. So that's one visual cues you can use. They are two different like people, two different elements, but because of that bonding that they are sharing something. So let's say they are sharing love, they're sharing their heart, they have now become one. So that could be a visual cue explanation. There are several examples I can give, but this is just one to give you like an explanation of how it works. The next is notation software and apps. And these apps help you store anything from your tasks for the day to passwords to several other things. And this really help in retaining what you've learned or something you don't want to forget. Examples of such apps are like, let's say, Simple Note, Evernote, or a more visual app which is Canva. So these apps can be very, very useful in retaining what you want to retain. Now, on to mnemonic tools. Mnemonic tools allow you use abstract data or meaningless numbers and turn them into meaningful stories or unforgettable images. Now, our brain is good at storing information with these abstract data or stories or images, and that's why it's an effective strategy to improving your memory. Some of the techniques under these mnemonic tools are lists in sequence and a pegging system. Mnemonics are very good for lists, and with this technique, you can code a lot of information and retrieve them when you need to. Now, in order to remember a list of sequence, you have to get each item to interact with each other. For example, if we want to remember the list of countries in the south of England, we can either use a link method or a story method. Now, for the link method, we want to get each of them to interact with each other, and this would rely on a series of image coding information. So you're forming images in your head for them to relate with each other as you go on, so that when you're trying to record, you can just remember how they follow each other and what you used to link them. Now, the countries are Avon, Dorset, Somerset, Cornwall, Wiltshire, Devon, Gloucestershire, Hampshire, and Surrey. And we want to see how we can link each of them so that you can remember it anytime you want to, and it resurfaces quickly in your memory. Let's use this example that is here. So now the sentences are short for you to just remember them. So an Avon lady, now you see the first country, knocking on a heavy oak door. That's the second country, Dorset. The next one is the door opening to show a beautiful summer landscape with a setting sun. Do you notice how from Dorset we went to Somerset? Then the next sentence, the setting sun shines down onto a field of corn. So the next, which is Cornwall. Then the next one, the corn is so dry it is beginning to wilt. Another one, Wiltshire. The wilting stalks slowly droop onto the tail of the sleeping devil. See, the one. On the devil's horn, a woman has impaled a glossy ham when she hit him over the head with it. Now there we have two. That's Gloucestershire and Hampshire. And then for the final one, now the devil feels sorry he bothered her. Sorry. Now, do you see how everything linked together? That's how the method works. Now, for the story method, we can make it into a story that you would remember. Now, the story here is an Avon lady is walking up a path towards a strange house. Now, we have the first one, Avon. She's hot and sweating slightly in the heat of the high summer. The second one, Somerset. Beside the path, someone has planted a giant corn in a wall. What does that give us? Corn wall. But it's beginning to wilt in the heat. The next one, wheelchair. She knocks on the door, which is slightly opened by the devil. We have seen to the Dorset and Devon. Now, the next paragraph. In the background, she can see a kitchen in which a servant is smearing honey on a ham. What do we have there? Hampshire. Making it glossy and gleam in bright sunlight streaming through a window. What do we have there? Gloucestershire. Panicked by seeing that, the Avon lady screams, "Sorry!" That's the last one, sorry, and dashes back down the path. Now, do you see how it worked? That is how the story method works. And this one can really help you to remember this list, because if you make it in a very vivid way, it will stick in your memory. Now to the next one, which is the pegging system. This peg word strategy uses a consistent set of rhyming words to represent numbers. Now, these rhyming words are called the peg words, and they provide visual images that can be associated with those facts. And this will allow us rhyme like a word with the peg word. Let's say one with like bun, two with shoe, three with tree, four with like four of a cat. Do you understand? So those are like peg words, and that's how the peg word system works. Now, this strategy is useful when you're teaching like areas in math, especially all the math facts. But then you need a very firm understanding of it for you to be able to use it. Because if you don't really understand it, you may not be able to use it. So I encourage you to just look it up online, how the usage, because we may not be able to cover that now, but how it works. Just look it up online. Now, I want to use this example of sticks. So, for example, if you want to say 6 times 6, that's 36. We can say 6, which rhymes with sticks, which is our peg word. So we'll say 6 times 6, which is like sticks times 6, will give us 36, which is like dirty sticks. So we've used 6 and 6, which are peg words for sticks and sticks, which are peg words for 6, and then dirty sticks as a peg words for 36. Do you understand? That's how the peg word works. Okay, so we're done with that phase, and the next one is how to manage school stress. So I'm going to go through 5 things I think you can do that will help you your stress levels in school. So the first one is to get enough sleep. Yes, I know before you jump at me and say where's the time for enough sleep, I need you to know that if you're sleep deprived, you cannot work properly and you would be stressed. No matter what, you would be stressed. So I want you to get enough sleep. I know that you're thinking, where is the time for sleep? I don't even have time for schoolwork. I understand, but you have to get enough sleep. Set out time. It might be just 6 hours every day. I know a lot of us don't even sleep up to 6 hours. That's why I'm using 6 hours. But then it might just be 6 hours every day. But please try to get enough sleep that would last you for a while and that can make you feel refreshed in the morning. The next tip is to make a to-do list every morning. Yes, do that. This will help you stay organized and help you structure how your day will be. When you know, oh, I'm to do this today, I'm to do this at this time, I'm to do this at that time, you know what you're not doing and what you're to be doing. So please make a to-do list at the beginning of every day, or maybe in the night, so that you know what you're meant to do. The next tip here is to take out time every day to refill. Might just be 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I think this works better in the middle of the day when there are a lot of activities. Take out time to refill and get back on track. Next one I can say is you can listen to music, good music, or practice meditation. Although I really prefer meditation. Meditation will allow you calm your nerves, calm down, listen to your inner voice, tap into the things around you, and just listen to what your body is saying. So please try meditation. It might be as small as 5 minutes, it can go up to 30 minutes. Try meditations. The last one is study when you're meant to study. So this sounds pretty obvious, but a lot of people don't do that. Study at the right time so that you're not rushing during exam times to cram and put so many things in your head. Study as they come. Study today, study tomorrow, study next tomorrow, so that you don't have a lot of work to study all at once. So yep, we've come to the end of the video, and I hope all the tips I gave were useful to you. I know that you might have some questions, so please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to Esther if you have any questions. Please practice all this. Your mental health is important, and I know you'll be fine. Make sure to be mindful of your health. Make sure to check if you're getting stressed. Don't just overlook any signs or any symptoms you're noticing. Make sure to take care of your health, because if you're not healthy, you cannot give your academics your best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.